Alright, hey, welcome guys. So here we are doing the 20,000 mile review with the GR86. This is the automatic version. So if you're curious what's it been like, you know, owning the automatic. So this is what that review is for. So hope you guys enjoy. So let's get started. So first I just want to go over what is the purpose of this build. Why did I buy this car? So the part that made me most hesitant was having a rear-wheel drive car all year round, because here on the East Coast and, you know, in Maryland, we get winter, you know, we get cold summer, we get everything. So I knew right away I'm going to do an all street setup all season. So I'm on all season tires, and then, you know, street pads, and, you know, basically it's just going to be a daily drivable street car with like occasional track days. But the whole purpose of the setup is to be able to just take my street setup and go right to the track, have fun, and come back. And in addition, like, you know, I'm a very conservative driver. So when I go out on the track, I just got to have fun. I'm not out to be late lap times or anything like that. So that's the whole purpose of this build. And so that's why the main focus is all mostly aesthetic mods and lighting stuff, because that stuff doesn't harm the engine, doesn't harm the powertrain. It's all just personalizing the way the car looks. So as the car sits right now, it's pretty much 100% where I want it. I'm very happy with it. So we'll start going over the mods here. As you can see, the most recent mod was these AlphaRex headlights. Those are my favorite because you can see the LED here. You can change it to either white or amber. So I switched to amber because I love amber. So I don't have the decal that sits there all the time. Now it's just clean looking when it's off, and then when it's on, it's got the design there. And you can see my light output on these are a dramatic difference. It's insane. So love that. And then going to the front lip, I have this Syon Auto front lip, which is basically a replica of the Toms. It's probably the best replica you can get out right now, and you get it right off Amazon. And it is color matched. So I do have two of these front lips. I have one that got damaged. It's getting painted now. But yeah, so, and then as far as the side skirts go, I don't really have side skirts. I have the OEM mud guards. They're color matched. So one goes up front by the front wheel well, and one goes on the rear on the bumper itself. And then I have the STI like side garnish skirts that go on the back rear wheel. I have that. I did this small subtle mod, but I have the color matched mirror caps from the BRZ. I have that. Then I have the Noble wind door visors, wide angle mirrors, also from Noble. I will say on the Noble mirrors, I've had an issue after, I don't have a time frame, but I'll put it on the screen, but the glass starts to separate from the mirror, which sucks. But luckily Noble did send me a replacement. When I called them, it was still under warranty, so they sent me a replacement set. So shout out to Import Image Racing and their warranty for getting me a replacement set out. So we'll see how long the replacements last, but that's where we're at on that. So just a heads up on that. And then going on the rear, I have the Sumo Performance color match spoiler, the VLAND taillights, and then I also have the AlphaRex LED light bar, and then I have it's like the rear diffuser. It's called the GT style, but it's an eBay one that my brother got me for Christmas. But yeah, but overall, that is all the exterior mods on the car. It is on Tane H-Tech suspension, so you can see the stance where it sits now. And then we're also on the Enkei the T6R gloss gunmetal wheels. But yeah, so that's it. So that is basically the overall outside of the car. So let's go in for a drive and talk more about the car.
All right, guys, welcome. So here we are in my 2022 Toyota GR86 automatic. This is a 6-speed automatic version. And yeah, so we're just going for a drive. I just want to talk about what it's been like owning this car, and with my specific setup, how it's been and everything. So the first thing I do want to talk about is just maintenance, general maintenance. The oil changes on this car have been so easy, and it's actually been very, I want to say, delightful. Having the oil filter on the top is awesome. And then on top of that, then doing the brakes, pads and rotors is very easy. And then also doing the brake fluid flush. I did the first one with this car, buying that Motive power bleeder, and then you can check out the video here of me using that. Great tool if you want to do your own flushes. It's awesome. But yeah, and that's just one of the biggest pros of this car is just the DIY friendliness of it. All you need is 8 and 10 millimeter. You can take this whole car apart pretty much, for the most part. The only thing I don't really do is I don't mess with the transmission fluid at all, so I'll take a shop to have them do that because I don't want to mess anything up as far as like the transmission fluid itself goes. Setup is mainly for just daily driving and then occasional track days, but the whole setup is mainly just for street driving, and that's it. So if I wanted to go to the track, I would just take the same exact setup and run it at the track without changing anything, so that's the beauty of this street setup that I like, for daily, everyday driving. As far as the oil consumption on this car, when I first got it, during the first 10,000 miles, the car was burning about a half quart of oil every 2,000 miles. Because I would check the oil. I check the oil almost every time I fill up the gas, just to monitor it, and I'll mark it on an Excel sheet, just to see what the oil level's at. And that's how I was able to find out, over time, that every 2,000 miles I had to put always about a half quart of oil. But oil consumption is normal for these engines. It even says it in a manual, so just always monitor your oil and keep that, keep it topped off. And the whole issue with the RTV thing, when I bought this car in 2022, the RTV issue just came out when where the guy Blake had his car with the engine failure. And the RTV itself, the strainer, it's a 5-sided strainer, and it's designed to catch that stuff, so that's why it's there. We don't 100% know if that's the direct cause. Obviously, the main cause is the oil pressure loss, and that's the main cause of the engine failure and rod knock, which sucks. And then on top of that, another thing that dealers would blame is the misshifting. Drivers misshifting their vehicles and causing these engine failures. So I don't know, but for me, that's one of the benefits of having an automatic. They can't say that you misshifted the vehicle. So the only thing they have left that they can blame is low oil, but I always make sure that's full. So if anything happens to my car, the first thing I'm checking is the oil, and I'm taking a picture of it just to show that, hey, the oil was full. I don't want to hear it. But luckily the car has been great. So I don't have any issues or complaints so far. So yes, it's been good on that side. So next, we want to talk about the performance. How does this car perform? The engine is completely stock. I don't plan to modify it at all. I just want to keep it stock until the warranty's up. And even then, I probably won't do anything with it because I just want to keep it as simple as possible. That's like my rule of thumb is for anything in life is just is this simple, or what's the simplest way I can tackle this, So yeah, performance-wise, so this specific car put down 203 wheel horsepower. I got a dyno at Andrewtech, which is now called Bespoke Performance. Great people if you're in the DMV area. They're in Gaithersburg. But they did a base dyno run, so I'm putting down 203 wheel horsepower. And also the difference between, I believe the manuals put down around 210 to 215 stock. So there is a slight power loss, but not as much as other 4-cylinders that I've seen before. Because I had an automatic RSX back in the day. Those put around maybe 110 wheel horsepower, where the base manual RSX was putting down around 140 wheel horsepower. So that's a pretty good loss. This is not as bad, which is nice for a 4-cylinder you know, automatic. And also another difference is the manuals they have shorter gearing compared to the automatics. They have taller gearing. And as far as fuel economy goes, this car averages 28 miles to the gallon. And I keep the trunk is full. I have a subwoofer back there. I keep my tools back there. And then I myself, I'm 280 pounds as well. So, you know, I'm trying to lose weight. So hopefully once again, like maybe 180 or 200, maybe the fuel economy go up. I don't know, but we'll see. But yeah, it's been solid. 28 miles to the gallon, takes 93 gas. I always go to Shell, you know, so Shell or Sunoco, either one of those are my two preferred gas stations. Now I want to talk about suspension. So the suspension setup, I am currently on the OEM shocks with the Tane H-Tech lowering springs, and these have been great. It's the perfect drop for me. I was looking for about a 1-inch drop all around, so it's about 2 fingers all around, like I would say at least 2 fingers. And man, it's solid. It's very smooth, and it's like I can't explain it. It's just a very nice OEM plus ride. It's OEM plus looking, and you get that improved steering response. I haven't got to test this out on the track yet. And as far as this setup goes, all my track days have been on the Raceland coilovers, which actually did very well, surprisingly. And so who knows? I'm taking a break from track days, as you can see, as in this other video. NJMP was my last track day for a while, so we'll see. But for now, I've had 3 track days is enough for me to get a good taste and idea of what it's all about and what this car can do, and myself. So now I just want to enjoy it. I don't want to take the risk. It's just not worth it. And you know, I'm not a lap time chaser either, so I'm not trying to beat times, beat anyone at all. You know, if someone wants to go fast, I just point them by. So it's just, I just like to go to have fun. But yeah, so suspension setup is great. I do have the Whiteline rear sway bar and also the Whiteline front strut bar. In addition, I have the parent master brake cylinder to help with the braking as well. So huge shout out to Kamispeed, you know, for all of those items. And it's the suspension setup has been great, and the car handles awesome over, you know, the factory setup. Next, I want to talk about the infotainment system and the sound system. So the whole Apple CarPlay issue, you know, there was an update in March of 2024 this year. Ever since that happened, I've noticed a significant improvement. I haven't changed the cable, same cable and everything. So since March till now, which is December, beginning of December, it's disconnected maybe 4 times, I would say. And every time it disconnected, before the update, I would be able to just unplug the USB, plug it back in, and it reconnects. Every time it happened, it did not work. Basically, the car had to be off for at least over like 10 minutes, and then starting it back up before it would actually reconnect to Apple CarPlay. So that's the only thing that sucks, but the update did help, but it still does happen, at least on my end it did. But yeah, so but as far as like the sound system review, you guys can check that out. I have the JBL Bass Pro wheel hub subwoofer in the back, and then in addition I have the OEM Audio Plus door speakers, which is the 4-piece. It's got the 2 corner dash tweeters and then the 2 door speakers. And then thanks to Kevin Vo, I have the Beat Sonic amp, and this, you know, in combination with all this, all those items, and it makes such a big difference. I mean, and you can see it here. I have the videos here that you can check out. One was just a subwoofer only, and then it's with the Beat Sonic amp and the OEM Audio Plus speakers. So check those out if you haven't already, so you can see the comparison. But I highly recommend that setup. It's great. And then also, I'm also rocking the damn steering wheel, thanks to Kamispeed on that. This thing is great and it's solid. I have the Beat Sonic phone holder. These little small quality of life items, you know, make a big difference, you know, and it just makes the driving experience great. So far, as far as infotainment system and sound, it's exactly where I want it right now. It's the best I can get, and I'm very happy with where I am as far as like the sound wise and music. Now, talking about the driving experience itself, so every time I start the car, I have to turn off the pre-collision braking. I can't stand it. But as far as the transmission, this is the TX6A transmission. This transmission has been around for a while. I believe it comes in like a lot of the Lexuses. I believe it was like an IS300, but it's been around for a while. So a lot of the Lexus models that Toyota has used, and it's been tried and true. So like if you go and look up like older Lexuses, you'll see they're using the same exact transmission. And as far as the responsiveness, I'll show you a video. I mean, you can see how well it responds, but I mean, it's not bad. There's obviously going to always be a delay. It's not like a DCT or anything like that, but I would like to see the transmission from that's in the Corolla GR, that 8-speed automatic, that DAT, or they have, into this car. I think that would be awesome. I would be curious to see what a performance transmission would do in a car like this. It could be a game changer. But either way, I'm just glad they do make this in automatic, because I've been absolutely loving the car. It's still fun, despite what the online people will say is it's not worth putting $1 into an automatic. Don't listen to them. It's all your personal preference. Get what you want to get, test drive it. If you like it, get it. And that's what I did. I test drove it and I loved it. And here I am with zero regrets. And here I am with zero regrets and 20,000 miles in. And I plan to keep this car until the wheels fall off, because honestly, I don't want a car payment again. But the only thing I would trade this car in for, though, would be the new GR Corolla automatic, if I were to. But right now the goal is just pay this off first and then go from there. But right now, the way this car is set up now is like perfect for me for everyday driving. It's got the sound system I like. It's the engine is stock, and it's just very simple to maintain now. I just drive it and enjoy it. And as far as like practicality and livability, I am on the Continental DWS 06 Plus tires. So these tires have made a big difference over the Primacy HPs. The Primacy HPs are summer tires, which I didn't know to begin with, but I noticed that even in the heat, those tires would lose traction very easily. I'd be coming around a turn and just give it a little gas, and I'll start to feel a little oversteer. I'm like, well, what the heck? And I thought it was just, me problem, but it's good if you want to learn how to drift, but not good if you're trying to be a more confident driver. So going to the all-season tire is a game changer. And so I drive this car every day, and I've been through 2 full seasons now, and I have videos here you could check out of me driving it through like ice and snow, in winter. And all-season tires, they have a lot to do. It's hard to do multiple things, so your expectations have to kind of match what it's built for. But I feel like if there's an area that all-season tires should excel in, it would be wet performance, because that's the main juice of where it should excel in. And I think these tires do well, unless you're doing a track cross at some point and you spin out due to having too much driver confidence and not expecting oversteer. You can see that video too. There's a video for that as well, having my first oversteer experience spinning out in this car. It was terrifying, but also a great learning experience. It does good in the cold and the snow and the ice. You just have to drive according to what your grip level is. So like, this car is you could live with this car and drive it in, heavy snow, but just keep in mind, you have to have the right rubber to match your environment. So that's the biggest thing, because you see a lot of these crashes that happen is probably most likely in cold weather, someone new to rear-wheel drive, and then they're also on summer tires, mainly the Primacy HPs, because I feel like every picture we've seen with the car that's wrecked, they were on Primacy HPs. So it's definitely driver error, and why dealers will put summer tires only on cars from the factory. Kind of is weird to me. Like, why? Because it's like they only expect you to drive the car in summer. I just feel like all cars should come with all-season tires and just keep it like that. But yeah, getting in and out of the car. So me as a bigger person, one of the questions was like, how was it getting in and out? So I've gotten used to it. It's so low, but also when you're parked in between cars, the space is so tight. So like when I get out, I would have to open the door, but then like hold it as close to me as possible as I'm getting out, just so I don't hit any other cars getting out. Getting in is a lot easier, but getting out is a challenge without trying to hit someone else's car. But it's very doable, and I don't have any issues, and I currently can fit comfortably and still have plenty of room, thank goodness, and I'm still trying to lose more weight, so hopefully I'll have even more. The car has been such a solid car, and I have so much respect. Because I never got into the first gen. I didn't know much about the first gen FRS, B, or Z. I just never got into them. But when the second gen came out, you know, and the dealer contacted me, he's like, you know, he had one coming in. I was like, I don't know, I'm not really looking at one. But once they told me it was a white one, I was like, okay, I'll look at it. Once I looked at it and test drove it, I fell in love, and I was done. And here I am. But I met a lot of great people through this car, through this platform. You can actually check out the Mid-Atlantic 86 Club. They have a Facebook group and an Instagram. So if you're in the DMV area, they have meets. So highly recommend checking them out. And I do have videos here you can see from the events I did attend there. So a huge shout out to Brandon and that group and everyone who runs it. It's a great community for this car. And also the aftermarket support. I mean, it's absolutely insane for this car. I never experienced a car with so much aftermarket support. Like it's just nuts, and I'm glad it exists. I mean, this car is literally made for enthusiasts. You know, it's priced right so that the average person can get one of these things and have fun with it, and just personalize it and have fun with it and meet other people. What a awesome car. You know, so huge shout out to Toyota and GR and Subaru for making this for us, because man, it really is great to be able to live through this time and get one of these brand new and just really enjoy it. And I love it. Every day I get into it, every day I get out, always looking back at it. I mean, it's just been an amazing car. The automatic, don't let that hold you back. At least drive it. If you don't like it, then just don't get it. That's all I can say. But so far, so good. If there's any issues, I will definitely report. But as of right now, I am been 110% satisfied with the automatic version of the GR86 and its current setup. Everyday driving all year round. I don't carry a lot of stuff, so storage is a thing. This may not be the car for you. But other than that, it's just a fun, daily drivable sports car, man. Absolutely love it. So that's all for the video. Hope you guys are doing well, and we'll see you on the next one. Take care.